Alrighty, now go ahead and offer it. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank Thee so much for the great blessings Thou hast given us, and for helping us all that we might be able to attend school no matter where we are, that we might be able to further our educations and better our lives. Father, we ask that you help us that we might be able to serve Thee well, that we might be able to accomplish everything we set forth to do today. We thank Thee and we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Okay.
So, a quick synopsis of the scenario, what's going on with the case study. It sounds like a group of us went canoeing and decided to take some rapids and ended up crashing pretty bad. All right? What this led to is both of the canoes ended up having huge gashes in them. One person broke their leg, and we lost most of our equipment except for the 14 items that you guys were able to pull off in the sheet. Was everyone able to do that before we started?
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So the first thing that we're supposed to do in this is kind of go over what everyone's number was, and then try and kind of persuade each other on why we picked the number of importance for each item, and see what we can do to get a consensus on all of the numbers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's go ahead and start with this. Craig, what did you get for your number one?
I put matches for my number one.
Matches? Did anyone else get matches?
Nope.
No.
Everyone else got matches.
You ruined it, Craig. No.
What did you guys put?
I put fanny pack of food.
No.
I put water purification tablets because they didn't have any way of. I mean, water's number one in my book for survival, so.
I put the map.
The what?
The map?
Oh, the map. Yeah. That's pretty important, but you're not going to get anywhere unless you have food and water.
Correct.
I put water as my second one because I was thinking, I mean, they're both important, but I just think food because you're not going to get any energy from water. Get all your energy.
Yeah, but you can survive just off of water for like 2 weeks. And how many people are there? Like 6? Right?
It was like 5 or 6. I'd have to go back and check real quick.
I mean,
Oh,
some
yeah,
cheese and
I'm
salami
looking
isn't going to sustain 6 people for more than an hour, right? You gotta stay warm in this situation because it's raining. You gotta make a fire. Gotta increase morale.
Can you hear us, Hal?
Yeah, but I'm a little bit lost. I'm kind of lost in the whole discussion.
You kind of lost in the discussion?
So what'd you put for number one then?
Pardon? Hello?
Yeah, what did you put for your first choice?
I can't get you.
You put what?
Oh, on the survivor situation, right?
Yes.
That's the one we're on.
Yeah, survivor situation. I think the first thing you need is water.
Haha.
Ah, it's water.
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah, that's the first thing you need because you could have all the food, but if you don't have water, you are still lost.
That is correct. If you don't have water,
what do you
you're
think?
still lost.
Yeah.
But you can drink water out of the stream.
Yeah.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
pure though.
If you get sick,
Wow.
though, you're not gonna be able to move.
But if you have matches, you start a fire, you boil the water.
In what though? All their containers were gone.
Oh.
All their cooking equipment. What are you gonna put the canoe over the fire and cook it in the canoe?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
No, I'm trying to record these as we go.
So, the survivor situation. Okay.
So it
I
was
still
my
think-
understanding that somehow we got scored. We had some type of score. Did you receive that, Brandon?
So, yeah, I did. The scoring is going to be a little bit interesting. They have professionals who apparently went through this scenario and listed the items and gave a little explanation on why each item is the importance that they put it at. So
Is
because
that
of
something you can share with us or tell us what our scores were?
so it looks. Do we want to? We're supposed to finalize kind of what our score is.
Oh,
and then
first.
compare it to-
Aha. Okay.
Yeah, and then if you guys have the document up in front of you, that might be a good idea to bring as well. The word with the scenario that you marketed, because we're also supposed to keep track of kind of how well we do on persuading others.
Okay, well, listen, I still think food is number one.
No,
Boo.
boo. Because you know what? It's a fact that you can survive without food. You cannot survive without water. And
Exactly.
even if you drank water out of the stream or lake, if you get horribly sick, you can't move. You're not going to get out of there.
Yeah.
If they all start drinking from the lakes and streams, what are you going to do if you actually, get sick and you're throwing everything up and you can't move?
But think about this, like, if you're not eating, then all the water is just going to go right through you, and then, I mean, you're just going to be going to the bathroom the whole time. So,
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to help if you don't have
It's
any
just
food
a fact,
the whole
though,
time.
that you can survive without food. You can. Whether or not you have the energy is a totally different matter, but you can survive for a long time without food. So water has to be. You can't just eat food and not have water. That's impossible. You can't survive alone on just food.
So, honestly, in my opinion, water is definitely more valuable than the food, because generally survival experts tell you that if you have food but no water, in order to digest any kind of food, it actually requires your body to have water, so
Correct.
you hydrate yourself faster.
Yeah.
Fine,
The
put water
reason
for
that I'm
number
saying
one,
the
then.
map- The reason why I'm saying the map is the most important is because we won't be getting any help for about 5 days on this. So I think what we need to do is send a few people off and get help. Otherwise, we're going to have struggles with whoever is there. The map-
Okay, but you're not going to get anywhere if you don't have food and water. So I think water should still be number one, then.
All right.
Yeah,
So
what
does
does-
everyone agree that we should do water then?
Water should be yes, water should be number one.
Howell said it. It's number one.
All right. Water is then number one. So I'm not entirely sure how we're supposed to put in our persuasion score for the table that they gave us here. But I guess just if you persuaded someone, you put. Do we number all of them? It doesn't actually give instructions on what we're supposed to do with that. Oh, okay. I guess the persuasion score is to total all numbers in column F. Okay. Okay, so the group ranking is where we put our number one. Sorry. All right. So, what did you guys get for number two?
Well, I'm going to go with food now.
Yeah.
You need that energy.
Yeah.
Or else all that water is just going to flow right through you and not do any good.
All right, so you're putting food as your number two?
Yeah.
I put the map as my number two.
The map is great and all, but I mean, you're not going to be able to make it out because what we hike, like already 40 miles or 25 or something like that. I forgot what number it was, but you're not going to get out if you don't have any food.
Dude, we can find food.
Well, you don't have any weapons to kill anyone, any animals, so how are you going
Berries,
to have food?
grasses.
What?
Berries and grasses.
So I still think we should stick with food. When you're in a survival situation, I think you need to take care of your basic necessities. Instead of being rash and feeling like you can conquer the world by going out and walking 60 miles, you need to make sure that you're going to be able to function for that day and a half or however long it's going to take you to travel to wherever you're thinking you're going to go. So I still think food should be second.
You think food is number 2?
Yes.
Here's my rationale, okay? If we're talking like steaks and like MREs or whatever, like I think that it's definitely important. But like it's talking about like a little fanny pack with some like cheeses and like snacks, you know what I mean, for like 6 people, like that's gonna be gone. Like I'll eat that by myself.
Then the fishing poles that can provide food for the time that we need. Would that be the second choice then?
No, because
They are broken.
Is that
The
to
fishing
sustain?
poles got snapped, actually.
Yeah, they're broken.
Yeah, but you still have line and hook and half a pole. You can still catch fish.
Honestly,
I
that's
still think food.
all right. Hal, what did you pick?
But,
For your number 2.
With the pool, how long does it take? Is it an established pool that you can get fish, or you're not coming to build up the pool? Because if we are now coming to set up the pool and get your fish in there, then how do we survive? So I think food comes in. So water being number 1, and food number 2, and then you have water and energy to work on the other ones.
Yes,
Yeah, I agree, Hal.
I agree.
So let's see.
All right, if that's what the group wants, I'll go with the group consensus. I'm a
All
team.
right. So number 2 is food. Or
Okay,
no-
can I put a disclaimer in for my choices?
Yeah, sure.
So my choices were partially influenced by my husband, who has spent 20 years in the Special Forces.
Well, that's cheating. Therefore, your vote will be stricken from the record.
Oh,
And to be honest, some of my answers were not this way until he, I had a discussion with him, and he was like, "Man, it's really good that we had this discussion because it gets you to really think. You have to, So he helped kind of swayed me towards taking care of basic necessities and going through step by step and thinking about, just like Howell said, how are you if you've just gone through this like traumatic experience, people are bleeding, and you need to, your body's in that is using a lot of energy to stay warm because you're wet. You're gonna want to just go ahead and use the food that you have to get yourself any type of energy to think rationally, or to use the fishing poles or whatever. Anyway.
yeah.
Sounds good. So I actually ended up putting water as number 2, but we already got that. Just because of the exact reason of you need it to survive. So, yeah. We already got mine. All right, so let's
Sorry,
see.
Craig. You got outvoted.
All right, but I
Everyone-
still think that the map is number 3.
So you put the map as number 3?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Who did?
Wait, hold on. Let's think about this. I have a new arguing point, real fast. In every movie, when there's like a wreck or something, like the first thing everyone says is like, "All right, we need to get a fire going," right? Right?
Right.
They don't say, "Let's get some water, let's get some food." They say, "We need to get a fire going." So what about
To
that?
what? Yeah, but to what end? What purpose? How
Because
is it
they're all
actually
going
going to help you?
Okay, now
the
that rule
hypothermia
almost-
because everyone's freezing.
because everyone is wet and everything is wet. It is also the rainy season, which means that if we don't find a way to get dry, we will permanently be wet.
Okay, but if it's rainy season, then the rain's going to put out the fire anyway.
No,
And-
you put it under a tree.
It's also windy season. Hang your clothes up; it'll be dry in an hour.
Yeah.
It didn't say they crashed in the middle of the night. It's still daytime.
Mm-hmm.
And
Daytime temperatures should be fine. The night only gets down. It does get cold at night, but they still have 6 sleeping bags, so they have time to air out their clothes and air out their sleeping bags if they need to.
All right. So what did you guys put as your number 3 then?
I think I put the compass because I put the map as number 2. So my whole thing is skewed.
Wait, so that means you would put the map then before the compass. So you should argue to put the map as number 3, right?
Yeah.
I want to know what Howell put. What did Howell put as number 3?
Well, I went with the map.
The map. Done.
Yeah, because the reason behind that is you just find yourself in an unknown environment. You don't know your left or your right direction. Now you have your water, you have your food, but you need something to guide you to know how you move around the area. So I think the map should be a guideline to show you where to go to or how to find an escape route.
Okay.
Agreed.
Wait, so if we're there, I think there's like a different like take on this thing because if we're trying to escape, or like if we're gonna send people out for help, I think the map is important. But I think if we're like staying there long term, like if there's people who are staying there for a week while the other people are trying to go get help, which obviously is like if they have broken legs and stuff, they're not gonna trek out however many miles it is. So I think like a fire would be more important than a map. For the people that are staying there, because it's long term, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, all right, we crashed, go get help right now. It's like you're going to set up camp for the people that are waiting there first, right?
Well, in that case, I'd probably get a sleeping bag over a fire because
Correct.
Sleep on the ground.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No.
That's right. Yeah, that's
But
right.
I still think the map is first because I mean none of them are going to survive if they don't start going.
Mhm. And I think the map is the way forward. And
Yeah,
the
but
reason for
if you
that-
think about it, no matter what, you still have to trek 60 miles. There's no way you're going to do that with the rest of the day that's left. You're going to have to be spending the night, at least one night, outside in 20 degrees. So you're telling me that you have no risk of hypothermia?
Yeah,
So you have to take care of basics first. You're either going to have to put a fire up or you're going to have to do sleeping bags, and that is going to take prevalence over who cares about the map if you're already frozen to death the first night.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So what do we want to put as our number 3 then?
So I think we need to go back and make fire number 1. Just kidding. I personally think matches is number 3.
sleeping bags.
No, you can
No,
camp
no.
in a sleeping bag. You can sleep underneath the.
Not when it's freezing. Sarah had a good point. You all just got out of the water, your clothes are soaking wet. You might get hypothermia.
I think either one, to be
Fires.
honest,
You make
either one is gonna be sufficient for that first night. Okay. You sleeping bags or matches, but you're gonna have to get through one night and not freeze.
Okay, think about this.
Nora, what did you put as your number 3?
What did I
So,
put as my number 3?
Yep.
My actually number 3 was the fishing poles based on food. My number 4 was sleeping bags.
Okay.
So
Okay, think about this. You're not going to be able to start a fire if it just rained and
That is-
all the wood around
Okay.
it is wet.
Yep. Thank you, Justin. That's why I put sleeping bags as number 4 and matches as 5. Because of that situation.
So at first, I actually put
So,
sleeping bags as number 3 because I was thinking that, but I just was arguing for the map for someone's sake. I forgot.
okay. Okay. What if we look at the insect repellent as number 3? Because basically when you find yourself let's say in a desert, you kind of expose yourself to harmful things like the insects over there. Now let's look at you having your food you having the water, but you are not able to protect yourself from the insects crawling all over the place. At the end of the day, you still end up becoming sick, and peradventure, the person might die off. So, what if we look at the insect repellent as number 3?
So you want to put the insect repellent as number 3?
No, listen. In America, there's no bad insect.
That's not true. People die from a rattlesnake bite. We just don't have insects that bite us that give us dengue fever and malaria.
Right. So
Where you start a fire, it keeps away the insects.
we need to keep the insects
There
down.
you go, Craig. There you go.
And what if there's wild bears out there? You're gonna start a fire to keep stuff away. Fire is so important. You guys don't understand.
Okay.
Yeah, build a fire.
It's still very wet. I think that's why we have the whiskey, is to start the fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
gonna
thinking
take
the
away my
whiskey was to put alcohol in the wounds.
Or that.
So I had that like more down, but I still think sleeping bags is number 3 because you need to get warm, and that's the only way you can get warm.
Yeah.
Sleeping bags are all wet.
No, first of all, no, the sleeping bags aren't wet. It's
Yes, the
didn't say that
sleeping
they were-
bags are wet.
They fell in the river. How are they not wet?
because well, the outside is wet, but the inside. I mean, it's always the sleeping bags nowadays. They have their water.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No. They're water resistant. They're not waterproof.
Yeah, but he has a point, though. You're not going to start a good fire when it's drizzling and wet, unless you have your whiskey that's poured on there.
Yeah.
You can still start a fire.
So just because
Okay.
everything that we have is wet doesn't mean that like the woods around us are wet that day.
Okay.
Well, it's
so-
possible, but I still think it's possible the sleeping bags are not drenched either.
Okay, so do we want to do sleeping bags or the fire then? We
Well,
need to come to
I'll
a decision.
consent. I'll
Hold on.
consent to do the fire.
Before we go in for the fire, what do you use for the fire? That's the matches, right?
Yes.
And what do you use to set up the fire? That's the whiskey.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it means that if you don't have the whiskey, you can't set up the fire with the matches.
Yeah, that's
If-
right.
So
So
If everything...
I think whiskey has to come as number 3.
I
Ooh.
still start a fire without the whiskey.
So when you have the whiskey, then you can now set up the fire.
You know what?
Oh,
Hal
what do you-
totally persuaded me.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I had matches as 5 and whiskey as 6. They're one and the same because
Well-
you can't start.
No,
You gotta
hold
have
on, hold
matches
on.
first and then whiskey, because it's like there's no point in doing whiskey first because if you can't light it, then the whiskey's useless.
well, but then the whiskey can also heal wounds as well, so you can use it for both purposes. So I'd say whiskey is before matches, but I'd say
Yeah,
that
I
matches is right after the whiskey.
Yeah, immediately after the whiskey, then matches come over.
No, I'm still gonna argue. There's no way you can get dry or start a fire without the matches.
Okay,
If
so
you
how
don't-
do you?
Oh, so
how
to
do you-
heal up the wound, you need a fire? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying,
can cauterize it too.
Okay,
yeah, there you go, cauterize.
all right. Let's take a scenario. Now, when you go to a petrol station, okay, what brings up the light? Okay, let me give you a little scenario of what happened in Accra some time ago. At a gas station, unfortunately, the fuel or the gas had to overflow. And unluckily, someone smoking behind dropped the cigarette and the whole place caught on fire.
Right.
Now, if we have the matches, fine. But if you don't apply something, you can't use the matches. So you have gathered your wood to set up a little fire. You need to pour something in order to light up the fire. So I think the whiskey comes in. So when you apply the whiskey on the set of woods, then you can now use the matches to light on it. Because remember, all these things are dry woods, and you need another chemical to help light up the fire. So if we take matches before whiskey, it's like using the matches and then whiskey comes, but it's the whiskey rather than matches follow. That's what I think.
So this whole argument hangs on the fact of whether or not things are already wet.
Which is information that we do not know.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have to go off of the information that we do know, which is we don't. That's the whole point. We don't know. We don't know if it's been raining for a while. It says it started to drizzle. We don't know if the day before or the night before was raining. We have no idea. So based off the information of what's in the actual story.
Well, didn't it say that it wasn't raining right then, but it had just finished, and it's also been changing frequently, like the weather?
Yes. We know that it rains. It does rain frequently, it seems. There's a storm every 3 days, apparently. Sometimes it's daily. So we're assuming that things are probably damp.
Which means you need the whiskey first, like what Howell was saying.
No.
What do you think, Craig?
In every survival kit, there's matches. There's not whiskey. Come on.
One of the guys who crashed with us isn't a Mormon.
What's
Okay,
that?
here's another thought. What if the matches are all damp and they can't light?
They're waterproof matches.
Because it's a chemical reaction. It
Oh,
doesn't
it
matter.
does say dry. Never mind. It says they're dry.
Yeah, it says they're dry. I'm just assuming they're in like a Ziploc bag or something.
What about the fishing line? Because you can use that to stitch up the wounds.
Although that's a good idea, fishing line was not on our list. A fishing pool is.
Yeah, but that includes the fishing line.
You
Yeah.
know, that's what I think,
Yeah.
but apparently not.
You gotta get resourceful.
That's what like the smart person would do, but that's not what this scenario will do. Just keep that in mind.
All
So
right.
we have fishing poles with no line.
It was a fly fishing rod, I guess. I don't know.
It doesn't
And
say.
you have to like connect the reels separately when you're ready to go fishing.
Yeah.
Wait, so why are we bringing in other things right now? It's between whiskey and matches.
All right. Well, I'm choosing matches 100%.
All right, so we got
I
one
still
vote
think.
matches.
I agree with Craig.
Okay.
On matches?
Matches.
Yes.
Yeah, matches. Okay.
Brandon, you haven't said much. What do you think?
So I'm persuaded that it is the sleeping bags.
No.
So
Honest-
that would be my choice, but to go with the argument, I was saying matches, but I would have chosen sleeping bags before that.
I would have chosen sleeping bags too.
Oh, we got a majority. There we go. That's a majority. That's 3 people.
So
Because
my
you have
number 3 actually was the compass because I was also thinking about the map. But here in this discussion, I am persuaded to say sleeping bags is number 3.
All right. I'm putting it down.
All right.
Yeah.
It was that easy, huh?
I'm sorry, you've been voted out of the canoe trip matches.
That's 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what did you guys get for number 4?
They don't have sleeping bags in the special forces.
Yes, they
That's
do.
insane. You can survive without it.
So
Okay, so for number 4, I actually put the compass first, but that kind of goes with the map. So because I need to put a disclaimer on myself. So I'm an Eagle Scout, right? And so I got the orienteering merit badge. You can't use a map without a compass.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So I put the compass next, but if you guys think we need to stay warm with a fire, maybe, but I still think a map is better because you can warm up in a sleeping bag with body heat, and then you can get up the next day and just go. But going back on my thoughts here, if you're going to stay there through the night anyway, you might as well have a fire.
I think at this point it depends on what strategy you've decided to take. If you thought that the group is going to split up or the group is going to stay together and try to mobilize the guy with the broken leg and stay together as a group or not. So if you decided in your head that there's a part part of the people that are staying behind, they're going to need something to continue their, sustenance, and the people that are splitting off are going to need, if that's your plan, So,
Right. And it seems like our plan right now is someone else broke their leg, and so this is stuff that you need. So you take the map and compass and leave them behind with the matches so that they can stay warm while you're going and getting help.
so can I add input here really quick that
No.
may or may not sway you?
Yeah.
And that when I was talking about this with my husband, he basically stated that the statistical report of success in these situations when a group splits up dramatically decreases. When a group stays together, it dramatically increases. So I don't know if that helps sway you or not, but I thought I'd add that.
That does help sway me, so I think you need the compass and map next, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Because if
what I put is I actually put the parachute cord. The reason I did that is because I was thinking, all right, for the people, whether we split up or stay together, everything is wet. We need something to dry it off, and we're going to need to be able to kind of string it out to dry off whatever it is, be it our clothes or the sleeping bags or whatever.
I just thought about tree branches, man.
I was thinking that, but then I was also thinking if we're going to do it, we can put it not like in the fire, obviously, but over the fire to help warm things up. But if we just put that over a tree branch, then we might end up burning down our stuff.
You're thinking really detailed. Yeah, but if it's windy and it's during the day, if you just put on a tree, it should dry out.
If it work.
Yeah, I don't think a parachute cord is super important in this situation.
So what do we think the fourth most important thing should be?
I think a compass.
Is there any other votes for number 4?
Yeah, I think compass.
Compass.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll
compass.
go ahead with the group.
Yeah.
Way to be a team player, Sarah. That's one more point for me.
Alrighty.
What's the strategy going to be then? Are we just waiting it out until someone sends help?
No, it's get back to the beginning, the starting point to get out of the hike or wherever they are,
You
so
mean
that they can get the
upstream?
help.
So we're splitting up?
No, we're staying together, right?
I thought someone had a broken leg.
They do.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
How are they going to keep up? We're going to eat them?
They're never going to be a professional soccer player again.
No, we're not gonna eat them. We're gonna have to carry them. So it's a good thing we got food so that we can have that energy to do so.
Yeah, maybe.
So, what do we think our number 5 is?
A map, because you're not gonna get anywhere with a compass without a map.
This is true. So does everyone agree with that? No discussion on that?
Craig, I think you turned your microphone off.
He muted himself so that he wouldn't have to listen to our debauchery.
Well, stop it! Join the group, dang it!
All right, well, map it is.
All right. So item number 6.
Hello guys, but hold on. Right on my list, I don't have map in it. What I have is the compass.
We
So
already
there's the second item on the list says plastic covered map of the region.
Okay, the plastic covered map. Okay, all right, I'm in. Number 6.
yeah. What's number 6?
Number 6. All right. What do we feel number 6 should be?
Well, I'm kind of convinced on some other things. I mean, I put the personal flotation device, but now I don't think that is necessary right now. I think it should be the matches, because if you can't make the whole trek in one day, especially since you're carrying someone with a broken leg, then you're not going to make it the whole 20 miles or however long it is. So you're going to have to stay overnight again, and you're going to want to be pretty warm.
Just to let you know, I didn't wholeheartedly agree with. If it were me in that scenario, I would probably be more likely to take off with one or two other people. So I was kind of split on the information I've heard in my brain versus what I think I would end up doing. Meaning, you watch all the survival shows and you think about the energy that you put out, every day to just survive is a lot. It's a lot more than what you probably would think it takes. So I think if you're trying to get an injured person 60 miles is a huge, huge effort. I think it would be smarter if we decided to stay, in a group, it'd be smarter to stay at the place where we were and hang and just ride it out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna carry someone 60 miles. I'm sorry.
No.
I'll leave them behind.
An interesting fact.
What if you were the person though? Like, you wouldn't want to be.
I walked on a broken foot for 2 months on my mission, so I could do it if it was me. But if it was someone else, they're left behind. I think you can stick it out for 5 days. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Honestly.
I don't think it is either, but I also think that the fishing poles, if they have line and hooks, would be very, very, very important if you're going to hang out for 5 days to sustain you for food.
Yeah, I think it could be a good time. I think everyone would just be chilling for 5 days. There's whiskey, you catch fish. I think it'd be a good little camp out. I don't see what everyone's problem is. I don't see what the rush is to get out so fast.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you guys. Because you're definitely gonna need food, and to cook those fish, unless you like sushi, you're gonna want fire to cook it.
Yeah, well, which one takes precedence though? Eating.
Well, why don't we put matches first and fishing poles second? We can bang two out at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, so matches number 6.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so matches.
Fishing pool and fishing pool number 7.
Okay.
All right.
What was number 5? I missed that one.
Number 5 is our plastic-covered map.
For the map, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you have that strategy, though, the compass and the map kind of become obsolete.
Unless you want to go for like a nice little day hike or something.
Well,
if you're trying to survive, let's not go on nice little day hikes,
Because there's water everywhere, I think, and so I think it's still good to have the compass and map, because if you just continue on, then you're always going to have a river.
Yeah, I think the map and the compass are good too, because then you could really venture out and like try to find berries and plants and things like that and still make it back.
So, here's my thought. If we're going to be camping, I would honestly use the plastic map to hold water more than anything else.
If you could cup it.
Yes, a map is cool, but it does not tell me where the berries are. It only tells me where the stream and maybe a mountain is.
No, so what Craig was saying is you can venture out, get the berries, and then remember where you were and use the map and compass to get back to where the group is.
But can't I also do that by like making little landmarkers, like breaking twigs and stacking rocks?
No.
Yes.
Well, if we're going to stick with our order, what's number 8?
All right, number 8.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need the whiskey.
Oh yeah, it's like a true Mormon.
That's needed in a Mormon community.
A little bit of whiskey. All right.
It doesn't say that these people are Mormons though.
No, one of them's not. You brought the whiskey.
What about this frisbee? Did everyone put that last or close to last?
Which one? Oh yeah, the frisbee. I put that last.
Correct. We can go ahead and do that.
Alright.
All right, so
No.
Frisbee will put last.
I'm
No.
counting that. I'm
No.
counting that
Frisbee.
conclusion.
I was trying to figure out how that would be useful, and I just couldn't figure it out.
Oh, okay. This duct tape could be good.
Okay, but what about the flotation devices? If you had to cross a river and it was too deep, or it was like it was a white water, then you're gonna need a flotation device to get across the river, because before you had a canoe, but now all you have is a flotation device.
I still think duct tape takes precedence because you can stabilize that guy's leg with duct tape. You could
Yeah,
possibly
that's what I
patch up one of the canoes with the duct tape. I think there's a lot more uses out of the duct tape.
You're right. I'm
That's
convinced.
All right, so 9 is duct tape.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what do we think 10 is?
The flotation device.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Okay.
All
I
right.
think the parachute cord's number 11 because string's always good. It's better than insect and the clothes.
Yeah.
The number 11 is the cord.
Is
parachute
that a 35-foot cord? Like, am I reading that right?
Yep.
It is.
A long cord.
It was a big parachute that we, for some ever reason, brought on a canoeing trip. Because, like, I brought that and not a cell phone. Anyways,
Alright, so are the clothes more important, or is the insect repellent more important?
Insect repellent.
Why?
You could still. I don't know. Is that flammable? Could you?
Yeah,
use...
it is. So
So-
that should be before whiskey. That should be number 2. And that's number 3. I think the insect repellent's more important than the or wait,
Yeah.
yeah.
The wet clothes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, I mean, what are wet clothes gonna do? I mean, unless you use the parachute cord to dry them off, or a tree branch.
Alrighty, so that means we have everything numbered. So do you guys want to hear what the professionals say?
Yes.
Have you
No,
looked at
remember-
it, Brandon?
Yes.
You looked at it before?
Well, I had to read to figure out what was going on.
Oh,
Why
okay.
didn't you help us?
Like,
Is that why you were
Well-
kind of silent?
well, yeah, because after reading it now, my opinions have been skewed.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think these guys are super real professionals. I think they're more like the professionals that try and sell you stuff in the store.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Like, oh, you're gonna need this parachute cord. for
Exactly,
sure.
like
$300.
going hiking.
Yellow
You're
frisbee.
probably going to need this
Yeah.
$500 compass.
All right, let's hear them.
All right, so here's what it says, okay? Background for the expert rankings. The current answers are based on the opinions of 2 experts.
That's not enough.
Well, no, I'm working on it. Both of whom act as guides on canyon trips to whitewater regions. The experts agree that the best course of action for the group was to repair one of the canoes and send 2 of the most experienced and least injured people to paddle to the road and get to the Grand Missouri for help. Because as such party will not even leave for at least 5 days, a search party won't even leave for 5 days, and might not find the group for a couple days more, this would cause severe hardship on the group, particularly on the one with the broken leg. Food is way down, and there is minimal protection from rain and cold. Since the tent and tarp, which wasn't even really listed for us, is lost, cold and rain weather at this time of the year is life-threatening, so the group must get help as soon as possible. It is essential that the group of 2 would move faster than if everyone went along, and they could get to help within a day. Then a helicopter could come and send for the rest of the camp. First priority of the group, then, is to go for help. However, in order to do this and survive, it is important to get warm and try to dry out wet clothes and sleeping bags. However, since it was starting to drizzle and may rain, there is no assurance things will get dry soon. In that case, the party of 2 needs to leave quickly in wet clothes and take their wet sleeping bags with them. There is almost no food left, most of it having been lost in the rapids. About half should go to the two paddlers who are leaving, who have less time to gather food, but who will possibly get to a food source sooner. The experts said, as long as what they ranked it as.
Wait, you
Number
broke
one.
up right there.
What was that?
You just broke up, so I didn't.
Like the last sentence, yeah.
So basically, just with this is what they ranked them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so you guys are going to want to put this in your expert ranking file as I read it. Okay.
Oh, I'm
So number
my
one. Number one is duct tape.
What?
This is,
Seriously? That is the lamest
Again,
thing ever.
I really don't like these guys, but this is what the experts say. They say duct tape.
They're
It is
not
the most
experts.
essential
They're just
thing.
river guides.
Yeah, exactly. They say it's the most essential thing because it is the only way to repair the canoes. Duct tape. It can be used to patch up the 10-inch and fix the broken gunwale or whatever that is. Other uses of the duct tape, which the experts say is essential on any such trip, is to repair the fishing poles and to use with large sticks to set a temporary splint for the broken leg. Let's see. Second is the personal flotation devices.
Come on.
Those are usually useful mostly because they help keep the body warm. They can be worn as vests to keep the torso warm, or used as a pad or pillow on the wet, cold ground. Right now, the clothes are all wet. Even when personal flotation devices are wet, they still provide warmth. Number 3 is the map of the area. Essential for the two people striking out to get help, it would almost impossible to navigate out and find the road without the map. Number 4 is the sleeping bag.
Why not the compass?
You know what? We'll get to that in a minute. They'll list why the compass when we get to it. Okay.
Probably last.
Guys, sorry.
Important to keep warm, both for the paddlers as well as the people staying behind. Even though the bags are wet, they still provide some warmth, since they are synthetic. It is important to dry them out as soon as possible, though. 5th is matches. And basically the matches are just for fire, and fire is good. It's important for cooking and drying and blah, 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 blah. Okay. 6 is food. It took them 6 items to get to food. Though there isn't much, it still be very helpful. It must be divided and rationed so that it doesn't run out quickly. For those staying behind, it is hoped that within a day fish can be caught. However, in the meantime, the food remnants should somehow be protected from bears. So basically, yeah, it's just food. 6 is the clothes.
Wait, I thought 6 was food.
Oh, excuse me,
Cool,
7.
yeah.
7 was the clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, 7, yeah.
Are
Okay.
you kidding me?
Those wet clothes are important.
When it stops raining, the extra clothes need to be dried out, and 3 of the remaining people can wear them. This greatly helps chances of survival.
Boo.
Boo.
Okay.
All right, number 8 is the fishing pools. Once the duct tape is used, the pools should be fit for fishing in the lake, and it can be used to splint the guy's leg. Honestly, I think 2 sticks could do that. That's my opinion. Number 9 is the parachute cord. This has many uses as a line to dry the clothes, though bushes can be used to secure the food in a tree away from bears, and if duct tape runs out, the cord can be used for splinting the leg and for repairing the canoe.
Expert. Look with it.
I don't know how you're going to use a rope to repair a canoe, but this is what the experts say.
Don't ask questions.
Number 10 is insect repellent for protection from mosquitoes.
You're telling me that we haven't even gotten to the one thing that would sustain life, which is water?
Exactly. So, all right. Number 11 is water. Now, the water purification tablets are mildly important because the water in these areas is often not purse. However, the disease to worry about most is, I can't even pronounce this one, so...
Giardia.
Yeah, Giardia or whatever. And it takes 2 weeks to take effect on the body. So because of that, they're saying just drink out of the river.
Well, they should have put that in the story. That
I
the
know,
water
right?
was known to be clean in the area.
So number 12...
That was lame.
Number 12 is the yellow, very important that's yellow, frisbee. Though it was brought for recreation, it actually has some survival value. One use is to heat water in it, being careful not to melt the plastic. Fish can be boiled in it as well. And
water for one person.
And it can also be thrown back and forth for recreation.
I told you, this is going to be a good time.
This is a good camping trip, guys. We got rope to fix canoes, and we don't need no water. Anyways.
Well, it might keep you sane.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Number 13, the compass.
The frisbee is more important than the compass? Oh my goodness.
This is not as important as the other because the paddlers are well equipped to navigate the lakes with a map. It's a pretty good map. And number 14 is the whiskey. Some may think it is useful for energy or to keep warm, but actually it has the opposite effect, and it should only be used as a last resort for pain. Apparently using it on wounds and stuff causes dehydration. It doesn't say apparently. I just don't
but
read
you
the
have
whole
rivers of water you can drink from.
Like I said, you know?
This is a big product placement scheme for duct tape.
Yeah, it is.
It's like duct tape can be used for this. Duct tape. Found at your local Home Depot. Here to have
Can
duct
fix
tape.
everything.
Okay,
So now it wants us to discuss the expert rankings.
I think they're a bunch of crap.
Yeah, we need like Bear Grylls' opinion now.
Exactly.
What we're talking about.
No, Survival Man. Survival Man is way better than Bear Grylls.
This is the next part of the argument. Who's better?
I like for actual survival by himself, Survivor Man is great. But I like Bear Grylls because he explains what he's doing more.
I didn't think you actually made a point. That was funny.
Well, Bear Grylls, his whole point is to escape, isn't it? And Survival Man's just to survive.
Yeah, I think there is a different point.
I think just listen to Sarah's husband.
You know what? Sarah, will you get your husband to take us on a canoeing trip? Because like, I don't like these guys. They suck.
Anytime. He's available.
All right, so what's the next thing we do? We just add up the errors or whatever?
Yep.
Subtract our number from the expert ranking or whatever and figure that out?
Yep. That's it. And then, let's see.
So the group error, we'll count it up.
Wait, so, I mean, do we put -4 for the food, or do we put 4?
No, you put however many away you are. So you want your score
Yeah.
to be, it's like golf. You want your score to be lower. Is it better?
So all scores are positive then.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no negative numbers.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the group error. So what do we do? What do we do over there?
So for the group error, take whatever
Yeah.
you put in column C, subtract the number,
The larger
Um,
number.
item D, and that's what you got.
Hold on.
And no negative numbers.
Hold on.
I got 62.
I'm coming. Hold on. I'm a little bit confused. Now, so we're actually gonna total the number in column A. Hello?
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, we actually are we going to total the number in column A, which is the individual error.
I think we're just doing the group error now. The difference between
Okay.
the expert and the group, and then putting that in the group error column,
Yeah.
which
So
is
we actually
62.
get 62. Okay.
And then after we'll do our individual. So I got 62. I don't know if that's right or not.
Yeah, that's what I got.
So so where are we going to put the 62? Is it at where we have the group score?
No, for each item, like for the fanny pack of food, you would put 4 because that's the difference between the expert ranking and our group ranking.
Okay.
And then the next one is 2 because there's a
2.
difference of
That's-
2.
It should be -2.
Yes, but you're just seeing what the difference is between the two numbers, not the actual.
Okay.
You're not actually subtracting. You're just looking at the difference.
Okay. I get you.
Anybody want to share their individuals?
I got 58. Individual.
Okay. Let's see.
The ones that ruined me on individual are duct tape and the compass.
All right.
My biggest ones.
Yeah, me too. I got a 9 and a 10 on those.
Okay. So here's the next thing it wants us to do. Ready, guys?
Yeah, I got a
Okay.
62 as well.
All right. You said you got a 62.
Yeah, I got the same as the group.
And was that your personal score?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. And what was everyone else's personal score?
Let me see.
I'm sorry.
I'm adding mine up one more time.
Okay.
My individual was 60.
60. Okay.
I got you.
Wait, what was our group score? 62?
Yeah, that's what I got.
You got 62 as well.
I got 58 for my individual.
Okay, 50. And what was yours, Hal?
Yeah, I'm trying to set it up. Okay. Give me some few minutes. Then I'll do the calculation.
Brandon, what was yours?
Oh, sorry, I was recording this and
Oh.
I haven't done mine yet. Forgive me. Let me do that real quick.
We did one of these for one of my other business classes, except it was like NASA, and they gave us a bunch of stuff when you're on the moon to survive, and it was like the same thing, where it was just like completely
Retarded.
broken. Yeah, of what you would actually think.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, like they're telling me I won't need my frisbee on the moon? Like that is essential, and I need an iPod.
And astronaut ice cream.
Yeah. It's a little known fact that is the best ice cream in the world, or out of the world.
Wrong. Mine is 75.
75?
Yeah. That's under the individual score.
Justin, what was yours?
60.
All right.
What was everyone's persuasion score? I want to see who the best persuader is.
I think Sarah won that one.
What'd you get, Sarah?
To no avail.
Yeah. I didn't even get one. I just counted mine as 0.
Oh.
I think I got like negative because no one listened to me.
You're doing. Oh,
Yeah,
it's B minus C, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be a pretty low number if you're a really good persuader.
Okay, please, how do we go on? How do we go on to the persuasion score? Hello.
What'd you say?
Yeah, how do we figure out the persuasion score?
The persuasion score? It says in the top in the gray box. It's B minus C.
So the it's just the difference
Yeah.
between the B and column B and column C.
Right.
Let me see. So the difference is what we put down there, right?
Yes. And that's in column F.
So it means the difference between your ranking and your group ranking.
Yep.
Okay. I'm coming.
I got 26. What did you guys get?
I got 14.
That's pretty good.
Alrighty.
I got 18. Justin, I think you have the best persuasion score.
Okay.
Justin persuaded us to die. He was the one with the broken leg.
I'm the one with the broken leg. Oh, man. If I was the one with the broken leg, I would have put the fishing poles as a splint for my...
Alrighty. So, looking through all of the scores that we got and stuff, it looks like that on average, for our individual scores, it ended up being 65, while the group score ended up coming up to 62.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Then the last thing, and it's kind of like the last little pit, is decide if your group had process gain. If your group score was lower than the average member score, then you did have progress gain. Ours was higher, so then we did not have that process gain.
Yeah, but I just looked at another groups, and we weren't the worst. There's another group that was like the group average was like 100 or something, and it was way off. So
Wow. It's a good thing we're not canoeing with them. We die.
yeah, apparently we would.
Alrighty. So
Okay, that was fun.
I guess we're good.
Yeah.
So who wants to be the group leader next week?
I vote for Craig.
I second the motion.
Sure,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Then
He stepped
guess
away.
then-
Looks like.
dang.
Right.
No, Craig's still there. His picture's right there.
Can you hear me?
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you hear we nominated you for next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I email the professor, do I just email him from like my personal thing and ask him for the code, or what?
That's what I had to do.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Yeah.
And then do we email the professor the link to our video?
Yeah, you can do that, and but you have to put it on the discussion board as well, answering those 7 questions.
Okay. Do you want to email me the link? Or is it just, oh, it's the same one, isn't it?
Yeah. It's on there.
I have to like share it, and then I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Awesome. Then
Hey,
in
guys.
that case, then I guess we're good for today.
And then
Yeah,
wait, do
so
we
who-
turn this sheet in somewhere as well with all the group updated stuff?
We have to do our case
Alright.
study based on this.
So
Yeah.
who is going to submit the case study conclusion?
I think we each have to do our own case study based on this.
All right. Based on what we just did, we just have to submit it.
Where do we find that case study?
Yeah, because we have a case study conclusion, which is due on Saturday, which
Right.
has to deal with yeah. So who is submitting? Is it going to be submitted by the group leader or individual submission?
That's a good question. I forgot. I didn't look at it. Does someone have it up on iLearn?
Let's see.
Yeah, because it says that this section of the case study is worth 20 case study write-up points and will be graded
Case study.
according to the fabric attached to the bottom of the screen. Reflect upon your group's wilderness survival experience. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, that's under the instructions. It said, yeah, you read it. Reflect upon the group's wilderness survival experience. Read each group's scores posted on the Lesson 3 case activities
So
board.
this is something that we're each doing by ourselves. It's not a group
Right.
thing.
Right. Okay, yeah, that
Right.
sounds good. We'll each have to do that then.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
See you next
Thanks,
week.
guys.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
Who had the best persuasion score?
I had 14, so I think
I
I
think
did.
Justin,
unless you
yeah.
beat it.
Justin with 14? Okay. Awesome. All right, then yeah, if you'll just send me the link, then we can get all set up.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome.
Thanks,
All right.
guys.
So
All right, bye.
Hey, y'all.